Hey, everyone. This is the BJB Show. This is LT, your host. Unfortunately, today I don't have one of my guest co-hosts. But what I do have one of Australia's, no, not one of. I have Australia's top #1 porn star, bodybuilder, and content creator on as my guest. I'd like to introduce everyone to the one and only Luci Power.
Hi.
Hey. How are you?
I am fabulous. Thank you so much. That was such a lovely introduction.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was definitely well deserved.
Thank you.
I came across you by way of a very good friend of mine out in the West Coast of the United States, not Australia. West Coast of the United States. A director, an adult content, well, not even, I won't say adult content. I will say he's a porn producer. He is a director. My friend, Miles Long. So that's, he, I've known him for a few years. He actually shoots for me for my magazine. And he posted something and it immediately caught my eye. And it was you. It was you. It was definitely
what post
you.
was that?
You know, I don't remember, but I will go back and find it. I will definitely go back and find it. As a matter of fact, I've got my phone here. At some point, I will scroll through and find it. So, Miss Power.
Yes.
What I'd like for you to do, I would like for you to tell a little bit about yourself. I know my little intro was a little intro. I'd like for you to let everyone know just tell them the awesomeness of that Australian accent. Oh my God, you guys have got to listen to this accent here. Come on, let's hear it.
Okay, so I'll talk about myself and you'll be able to hear the accent. I usually introduce myself as, like, on my YouTube channel as Australia's #1 fitness model escort, award-winning content creator, porn star, and now naked news reporter, because I do some reporting for the Naked News and do a little bit of work for them as well. So that's pretty cool. But that's how I introduce myself, usually.
Okay. Naked News.
Yes.
I think I've seen a few YouTube channels. Not YouTube channels, but I think I've seen a couple of YouTube videos about the Naked News. Wow. All right,
They
so
do have their own channel.
say that again?
They do have their own YouTube channel, but they've got their own website, a subscription-based website as well for all of their reports.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So basically what you're telling me is that we could find you standing in front of, well, you'll be standing in front of a green screen, but you'll be presenting the news getting undressed.
That's what I was doing initially, but because of the whole lockdown thing, I report obviously virtually and not in front of a green screen. So I sort of report at live events, like adult events, and there hasn't been anything major happening this year because of coronavirus. So I've had to come up with some creative ideas and things to report at. So I did an interview with like a shibari rope artist at a BDSM club. I reported on a content day that another content creator here in Australia was organising. And I've done some interviews just via Skype, but I'll be topless. So I'm either topless or naked in those sort of segments. And what else have I done? I think it's just very simple things like that. Like I'll run through a day in the life of a content creator, be as naked or topless as I can while I'm reporting, that sort of thing.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Luci's doing her thing, boy. You say are you a nudist? Are you a nudist?
I am. I love being nude. I feel like I feel more natural being outside and totally naked, especially if it's warm. I mean, I wouldn't do it if it was cold. It just feels like,
Okay. What
yeah.
you said being warm. Is it what's the weather like over there? Or is it the winter
Now
season over there? It's perfect.
spring. We just entered spring,
Oh, it's spring now. Okay. All right. Wow.
and in
You're
Brisbane, the city I live in, it's just spectacular. We're pretty lucky. We have sunshine all year round. There's a couple of storms in summer, but in winter it's freezing in the morning, warms up to 25 degrees Celsius throughout the day. And right now in spring, it's cool in the morning, but it just warms up to perfect temperature throughout the day, and it's just sunny and clear blue skies. It's spectacular.
nice. Nice. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Sounds like a trip is in store
Yes,
sometime
please.
before I die. All right.
Yeah.
So now that most of the pleasantries are out of the way, let's let's see. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're texting already. They want to know
Oh,
what's going on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay.
are we live?
No. I'm not doing this live. I'm not doing this live. I wanted to. I didn't want to break the internet. I didn't want to break the internet. Nope. This is just you and me right now. This is you and me.
Cool.
All right. So, question that a lot of people are going to ask. I know I usually ask this. How? Well, no. Let's not talk about that first. Let's talk about when did you? No. Let's do this.
Okay. Okay.
What is your preference? Men, women, both, any, all? What's your preference?
It changes all the time for me. So I'm very pansexual. I will sleep with men. Gender doesn't concern me at all, and I'll go through phases where I might prefer men, and then phases where I might prefer women. And I've been with transgender girls before, but there's just not that many to choose from here in Australia. So I haven't been with that many, and mostly men and women though, definitely. And it's sort of like, probably see more men than I do women, but I go through phases as to who I prefer at any given time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask. Well, what is your main? What do you what do you want more of?
Oh, I want more women, definitely, because I have a partner and I see him obviously every day. And I would love to have like a main male boyfriend and then a main girlfriend, and then be able to explore further outside of that as well. But I'd like to be in a relationship with a woman as well. That would be pretty cool.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
but you know what? That actually seems to be pretty common. That seems to be pretty common. Um,
I think so.
yeah, that seems to be pretty common because you know, the uh, uh, a lot of the content creators that I've worked with recently, they've all said the same thing. Um,
Yeah,
they're in a relationship, but they're desperately seeking a woman, a woman's
yeah,
companionship, or a woman, and when you ask them why, it's like it's their responses, they run across the gamut. It's just because they're softer. It's just because they just want that attention, or just because they want that affection. They
Yeah.
just want to bury their face in some boobs. So the responses run all across the gamut. So
Absolutely, and I agree with that, and I feel the same when it comes to a woman. The touch of a woman and being intimate with a woman is so different physically to a man. But and I've been fortunate enough to experience that, but I haven't ever had a relationship with a woman. So it would be nice to be able to explore love and intimacy and connection and like real world experiences with a woman as well as a man.
okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. Um, well, I want to get into. Do you have family? Do you have kids?
Yes, I have 3 kids.
You have three. Okay. Do they know what you do, or do they know that you're into the adult world, or what? Okay, let's back up.
Okay.
Let tell everyone what you do, not just who you are, but what you do.
Okay, and you know, this is a good question because a lot of people who follow me think that I'm just a porn star. And then a lot of people in my other life, so my non adult life, they're like, she's just a porn star. But no one really realizes all of the intricate details and other businesses and stuff that I operate. So I perform as a porn star and a content creator, but I also produce and direct scenes, and I have a company called Luci Power Productions. So I'll actually produce scenes, and I'll select performers to put in those scenes, and then sell those scenes as Luci Power Production. Um, and I'm doing my first proper production day tomorrow. So I do that, but I am an escort. I'm a sex worker in Australia. Sex work is legal, and so I do that as well. Um, and I am developing a website in Australia to help content creators find other content creators. So it's like a directory listing of content creators. Um, that's taking up a lot of my time at the moment because it's new to the industry and it's really needed. But I'm also an artist. I do abstract painting and drawing. And I'm a professional bodybuilder. I'm no longer competing. I've retired from competing, but I won a world title in 2018, and I'm still really passionate about fitness and the industry. I love bodybuilding. At the end of the year, I'll be interviewing some competitors who will be on stage in October, just under my personal name, because when I competed, I did that before I was doing this stuff. So I'll be interviewing as a pro champion and commentating on the live show and stuff like that. So I do that as well. And writing, I write for a sex worker magazine, and do plan on doing more blogs and writing and stuff like that too.
Okay. Okay. Well, see, you
Yeah.
should be here. You should be here. Just a quick little side note. You should be here as my commentator for when I'm doing
Yeah.
live streaming and interviewing and things like that for my competitive bodybuilding competitions. That would be
Do
awesome.
you have competitive bodybuilding competitions?
I shoot them. I'm the photographer, videographer. I produce them.
Excellent.
I am not actually on stage. And as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, you know what? Now that I think about it, that was also one of the posts from my discovery from Miles. So I think he
Yeah.
posted something, and then I was so intrigued that I had to go stalking your. I think it was Instagram. I think it was Instagram. I had to go
Yeah.
stalking your Instagram page, and I saw you. What is the federation? Well, anyway, it was you on stage, and I was like, oh my god, she's a competitor. She's got to get here. She's got to get here. Oh my goodness, she's
Yeah.
got to get here. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
So now that we've gotten that on the table,
yeah.
I will say this: I did listen to your own podcast.
Yeah.
You were telling the story about well, you were keeping it from your children, or
Yeah.
they
Initially,
found
yes.
out or something.
they found out.
How did that
That's
go?
that's how they know. So, my kids, when I first started, they were so young, and I didn't know if I was going to stay in this sort of industry. So I decided I wouldn't say anything to them until I worked out whether I was going to stay in the industry. And also, I wanted any information that they had to be age appropriate. And they were just too young to even be able to explain to them what I did. But what happened, so right now they're aged 10, nearly 15, and 16. And a couple of years ago, maybe 18 months ago, because it was during coronavirus lockdown, I had to homeschool my kids. And um, so what happened was my youngest daughter was using the iPad for schoolwork, and I thought I had completely wiped it clean and unlinked everything, and I hadn't. So she went to my photos and through my iCloud and it linking to what was on my computer, she saw photos and videos of me having sex. And that was very upsetting for her. And she told her older brother and sister. And then my eldest daughter, she came to me and basically said, this is what happened. We are suspicious of your behavior and some things that have been happening, and we sort of think that maybe you're doing porn. Are you doing porn? And so I just decided to reveal it to them. But I think I told my eldest daughter first, because she actually found out about the sex work before the porn. So she sort of knew that I was doing that anyway. And I kept it from my eldest son for a while because she asked me to, because she thought he wouldn't handle it. And then eventually, it all came out. And then my 10-year-old just told me a couple of months ago, she admitted that she knew what it was that I did. And so I talk about it with them as much as I can that's age appropriate. And mostly they accept it because they love me and they know that I'm their mom and I'm here. And like, I'm just a normal person. I'm down to earth, and I've got my shit together. I'm still at home every night, having dinner with them unless I'm away touring or whatever, and driving them to school and taking them to their friends' houses and doing grocery shopping with them and forcing them to do chores and making me a cup of coffee. So I'm still like a mum. That's my main job. I'm a mum, so they see that, and so I've told them that what I do for work is just work, and it doesn't change who I am as a person.
Nice. So they're handling it well. I mean, I'm sure they weren't all that happy with it. So how are they handling it now? Because if I'm not mistaken, I just recently heard that episode. So I'm not sure when you posted it.
Initially they were quite upset. Like the first reaction from my son was, "Oh no, that's okay." And then by the end of the day, he was devastated, and it took a lot of discussion with them about it, and just reinforcing that I still love them and what I do doesn't change who I am and it doesn't change them. And they were worried about how it might affect their life in terms of if their friends find out and if they were bullied and things like that. And I said, well, that's what we'll deal with when and if that even happens. And luckily, they've never had anyone, even if they do know, approach them and bully them about it. In fact, all that's happened is that my daughter, my 15-year-old daughter, her friends have come across my profile, even my other profile, my personal profile. I still post nude-ish photos and bodybuilding and bikinis because I'm still a model, and I'm open-minded, and they think I'm cool. So all of her friends say, "Oh, I'm so cool. She's like a MILF, and I wish my mum looked like her and was really nice like her too." And so my daughter was like, "Oh, okay, it's actually okay, Mum. You're actually really cool in my friend's book. So you just keep doing what you're doing."
Wow, nice. And
up and down. Like sometimes they struggle with it, sometimes they're okay, and it's about just always being open to communication and discussing everything with them. But it's okay for them to change their feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that a suggestion you would have for someone else that has children and in this industry or in this lifestyle, or what is
to talk about it?
Just have open, honest communication.
Yeah, that is the key. You've got to be open and honest and not judge them if they're feeling a bit hurt or angry, and to understand that this sort of lifestyle isn't for everyone. And it's even harder for our kids because they have no choice but to accept it and sort of be around it. Not that I have it around, but if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be really mindful of their feelings and let them be upset if they're going to be upset. But I think it's really important to show extra love and extra care in this sort of industry, because there is such a strong association with like exploitation and bad things when it comes to porn, and you've got to try and remove um, that idea from the kids, you know. So by supporting them and being a mom and being there for them in every other way.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What about your partner?
Well, my partner is amazing. I mean, I actually owe half, if not all, of my success to him. Success to him. Excess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because he's really tech savvy. So when we first got together, he didn't know I was a sex worker. And then when I realized I was sort of like getting feelings for him, I was honest with him, and he was like, okay, no, that's cool. He just had some questions, but he's really open. He's very secure within himself. So he just wanted to know more information about what it is that I did, and then he's a consumer of porn, right? So he would follow Snapchat premium girls and other girls on Instagram and watch porn, and so he knew what was in and he knew what girls were doing. He really appreciates the hustle behind premium Snapchat girls and OnlyFans. I don't even think he really knew about OnlyFans. I was already doing that. But he understands the idea of hustle and sales and marketing and advertising too. So he helped me really boost my followers, but by also encouraging me, that allowed me just to be free to explore and do what I want and build my followers. And there was no jealousy or anything. And I'll be sitting there at night chatting to like guys on Snapchat, sending boob pics and being really dirty. I mean, you've seen my Twitter, you've seen the stuff I post. It is erotic and it is like dirty and very kinky. And it used to be worse back in the day in Twitter before OnlyFans really took off. So I'd be sitting there, you know, in my pajamas, texting guys, sexting them, and he's just like sitting there watching Netflix, and it's like, "Hey, you going, babe?" And I'm like, "Yeah, almost done. Just gotta send this pic, you know, take a photo down below." He's like,
You
"Is
know
that
what?
good angle?"
You know what? This deserves, your partner deserves,
Yeah.
because one thing about this industry is, wait a minute. I seem to have lost my audio. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Huh. I seem to have lost my audio. I can't hear myself. There we go. All right. Okay. So now I guess I need to watch my big ass arms because I seem to have hit a button that I shouldn't have. Anyway, um, yeah, getting in this industry, it's hit or miss. You know, you really have to be secure in yourself. You have to have well thought out the outcome, the end game if you have children involved.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for example, me myself, I have 3 kids of my own,
Yeah.
and I started out in front of the camera with one of my, well, she's an ex, but my girlfriend at the time. We started out. We were doing our own site together, and by that time, I had already had my 3, and I told my oldest, and he was like, "Pop, you want to be the next John Holmes? Do you?"
Yeah.
And then I told my daughter. When I told my daughter, she was upset. Well, no, she was okay. No, wait. Let me think. My daughter, she was upset. She didn't speak to me for a couple of days. She needed to process, and I get it. I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't know what to think.
Mm.
So she needed to process what was going on, and then a couple of days later, she was like, she was okay. She was happy with it. She was not happy, but she was okay with it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then here the funny story. My youngest, my ex or his mother told him at the time. Okay, so this is the way it went. she called me. She told me, or I called her. However, she let me know what was going on. So she said that they were walking home from somewhere, and where I moved them to, they were literally right around the corner from an adult store. So she was telling me that on their way home, they were walking past the store, and she said, "Hey, what if one day when you get old enough to go into a store like that, what would you do if you looked on the shelf and you grabbed you grabbed the video, you grab the video, and on the shelf you see a video with your dad on it? What would you do?" He said, "I would put it back and get another one." That was the funniest thing, and that told me my kids were all right. That right there, that made me so happy because I was waiting. I didn't, and the reason why I had to tell them, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I had to tell them because I didn't want them to experience any kind of bullying. I didn't want their friends to know before they knew. Okay.
Yeah.
And if and honestly, if they had said, "No, Pop, I don't want you to do this," or "No, Dad, no, don't do it," I would respect their wishes. Because, at that time I was much younger and still had plenty of other things I could have done. But, I had to experience the pleasures of the flesh.
Oh, I understand.
But that oh my God, when my kids were basically saying that they were on my side, it was full speed ahead. Now, mind you, I'm semi-retired right now. I do plan. I've been convinced. I have been convinced to basically come out of retirement, but as of right now, I am semi-retired. You know what? You keep doing that. You keep doing that. I could be convinced a little bit more when you come to the States.
Oh, just for me, yay! Let's do it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So let's see. What else? Oh, you know what? Okay. So I was looking at your site. Let's go back there. Let's open that up. See if I can open that back up. And I want you to talk me through this a little bit.
Yeah, good.
All right,
it's my
hold on.
side shit.
All right. So here we are at Luci Power Productions. All right.
Yeah.
Now, is the mouse showing up? It should be. Yeah. Okay. So this whole OnlyFans debacle thing, okay, where they were basically throwing all the content producers or the adult content producers, content creators under the bus, saying that it was the bank's fault.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, and honestly, for those people that don't know, OnlyFans is like one of the main and most well-known. If you don't know, you've been living under a rock. One of the main and most well-known platforms for putting out adult content or alternative content. I mean, there's a lot of different things that are on OnlyFans, but it's most well known for adult content creators. So a couple weeks ago, they just basically threw everyone under the bus, saying that the banks weren't processing the transactions, so we're going to have to stop allowing explicit content.
Yeah.
So that shook up a lot of people. Of people. There's billions of dollars coming through that website alone. So Then within, what was it, a couple of days? A couple of days goes
Yeah.
by. A couple of days goes by. Now, mind you, they stirred like a kicked a hornet's nest, and
Yes.
you had people just scrambling. What am I gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? So a few days goes by, and the next thing you know, OnlyFans decides to put out another statement saying, "Oh, we're not going to change anything. We are 100% behind you guys now." And honestly, I feel like no. They didn't say it wasn't going to change. They said they were suspending the change. They didn't say that it wouldn't happen in the future. They didn't totally get rid of this. They said
Yeah.
we are suspending the change. So a lot of people decided to stay with OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And my question to you, actually, I've got a couple questions. Why do you think they did it, for one? Two, are you on OnlyFans? And three, well, no, let's start there.
Yeah. Well, I think they did it just because of what you said. The banks were going to stop the payments and they need the support of the bank, right? So that's why they were going to stop the content. And for some reason, people can't get their head around the fact that adult content is highly popular, and as long as it's consensual, it should be fine. But conservative people just don't want to accept that. So they're rolling with the banks. They're greedy. They want them to process the payments. That's why they did it. And turning their back on that decision was because they would have lost billions of dollars. And that's still a potential thing for them in the future, because they would have lost hundreds of thousands of content creators that day. They would have closed their accounts. They would have gone on to other platforms, which I was looking into as well. And they would have freaked out because they would have lost billions of dollars.
Yeah, you
And
know what? There's a lot of people that said that they lost a lot of money just in the 2 days,
yeah,
just in the few days that they made the first statement and then to the second statement, because they were like, "Oh my God, they're scrambling." Everyone's scrambling. What are we gonna do? Let's look at this site. Let's look at this platform. Let's look at that platform. So
yeah, exactly.
so
They're not promoting any content or making any sales those 2 days, and that's fucking shitloads of money.
right.
So yes, they've lost a lot. Sorry to cut you off there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I do have OnlyFans.
you do.
Yes, and that's my main platform, and it is Luci Power.
Okay.
The reason I kept it was because I've had OnlyFans for nearly 5 years, and I've uploaded over 1,700 photos. They're explicit photos as well as some selfies, but mostly explicit photos. I've got, I think, like over 900. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Maybe you can see there 900 videos, and I'm talking. It's not 900 full scenes, but there's a lot there, especially from the early years where I've uploaded full scenes, like 15, 20, 30-minute sex scenes, full masturbation scenes, and then there's teasers on there and lots of different things. But you can see I've got so much content there, and I've spent 5 years building that, spending time on it, and it really worried me about having to leave that platform. So what I did was I did start a Fansly account, but I didn't remove the OnlyFans just in case this decision was going to be made, and I'm really glad. So I don't really use Fansly. I was actually just changing my web, redesigning it the other day, but for some reason it didn't make the changes didn't go through. But yeah, I'll be taking the Fansly icon and moving it to like the bottom or the back of that line, because I don't want that to be the main one. See there, I don't have much going there, but I'll continue to use it because it's good to have a backup. But I also have other backups. I've got many bits, Pornhub, as you can see there. So I still upload. I don't upload a lot onto Pornhub because I don't earn a lot of money through that. But many vids, I've got hundreds of videos on many vids, and I upload pretty much everything I do from OnlyFans onto many vids as well, because some people just like to buy the videos individually.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so I do all of that, OnlyFans, many vids, because it's very time consuming uploading one video across multiple
Across platforms, right.
Really
Right. Totally understandable. Well, let me ask you this: Do you find yourself creating for one and only one, and then doing the same for a different platform, or do you just repurpose your content?
I repurpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's basically the one video will go mostly onto OnlyFans and many bits. And then I'll create a teaser of that video, and that usually goes on Pornhub. Not all of them, it just depends on how busy I am. And then I don't even put everything on Fansly yet. I'm still just trying to work around it. I'm so busy with other things, it's like, just to be careful how I spread my time.
Gotcha. Yeah, because there's only so much time in a day.
Oh my God, I know. And I'm a bit of a workaholic, so I really burnt myself out this year. So I'm just trying to, when I notice I'm getting a bit, hyper vigilant and stressed, and I've got to get this done, and I'm like, no, maybe I just need to have a brownie and just sleep for a few hours.
A brownie, huh? Oh,
Yeah.
I know what kind of brownie that is. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. You know what? I've been having fun here, but I should have actually written some of this stuff down. But see, that's the way I am. I just like to wing it. I don't like to be stuck to a script. I like to wing it. And I must say that I have really enjoyed just winging it with you.
Well, I'll be able to wing it with you anytime.
Ooh. Okay. May have to hold you to that.
Spontaneity is my middle name.
Ah. Uh-huh. I wonder what sign, what astrological sign that is.
I'm a Gemini.
Uh-huh. Okay. I don't see.
And a monkey.
The what?
I'm a monkey as well, the Chinese.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How is that possible?
What do you mean? How is that possible?
Because I am as well.
Yeah, because they,
the Chinese zodiac.
Yeah.
Right, the Chinese zodiac. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I am. But anyway, well, we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out some other time. All right, so just a little bit. Tell me about your podcast.
Yeah, okay. So I started a YouTube channel because, I get people asking about my life all the time, whether it was bodybuilding, my kids, about the industry, how I got into the industry, and that sort of thing. I'm really open about my life, and I was talking about my back injury. I was getting the same question from multiple people all the time. So I thought, I'm just going to do a YouTube channel, because then I can talk about my life and then just redirect people to the YouTube channel, so then they can, just hear all the stories in their own time and not have to ask me a million questions and I have to repeat myself. I just don't have time to do that. And I like to give information, and I like people to learn stuff about not just me, but it'll hopefully help them learn something about themselves. Or if they're struggling with something, then they can sort of see that I've struggled with things, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, that's an interesting thing. Or now I'm not judging myself so harshly because I think the same way. So that's why I started it. And people were just really, I have a lot of Life of Luci in there, because people are really interested in sort of like the life of a content creator. But yeah, I have some fitness things in there because I, love fitness. They're not there's not a lot because I don't have a videographer to film my workouts yet. Um, and yeah, what else have I got in there? Yeah, sex
Wait,
work and
you
escorting.
haven't had someone record your workouts?
Oh, not in a good enough way. Like now that I'm doing more and I'm filming in a more professional way, when I do my own, I'm like, or if I get someone to hold the camera, I'm just a little bit funny about them doing it the right way. I'm like, well, it's not really showing the right angle. So, and also, it's my personal gym, so like I just don't want people looking at me like, what the fuck is this bitch doing? Like, who does she filming herself doing this squat? So I will eventually though, because people are actually interested in it, and I think fitness is so good. Going to the gym is amazing, and people would actually really like that. But I've just started the mental health one because I'm so passionate about mental health. I actually have a psychology degree as well, and I wanted to become a psychologist before I got into escorting and porn. And I am doing this Lucy's mental health awareness series because I'm going through the process of dealing some past trauma. And I thought the technique that my psychologist used the other day was really interesting. And I thought I would just share my sessions with my audience so that maybe they could learn something about it as well.
Gotcha.
Mm.
So
And very
so
thorough mental health,
yeah,
mental
I was just
illness.
gonna say that mental health issues is definitely a huge thing. Um, uh,
Yeah,
a lot of people say that people are just crazy anyway, but
yeah,
no, that's not the case. People do go through some traumatic events that kind of, I would say, well, you do have some that'll change people for life, but then you'll also have ones that will just shock people for a little bit. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
then it, you can't really say how something should affect someone else. Everyone
exactly.
internalizes. Everyone takes trauma or some kind of mental issue or some kind of issue, to heart differently. So,
Absolutely.
and the fact that you have a degree, that says that you understand these things.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, like everyone can experience adverse events differently at different stages in their life as well. So, I've suffered from trauma since being a teenager, but I don't really feel like it's affected me that much until like over the last year. And I think that was probably brought on by being locked down. And I've always been okay dealing with my own issues, I think, because I've been free, because I've been able to go on a holiday or a working trip or just get out, and do what I want to do. And then as soon as I was locked down, I had like my first panic attack. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I also injured my back. And then I was dealing with like a narcissistic ex husband. And there was a few things that sort of happened in quick succession, and all of a sudden I just like was like, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And I found that what it was doing was causing major procrastination. And I'm very goal driven, and I love to achieve. I'm a high achiever, and I always want to do more and work harder and do better and improve all the time. And so when I found myself just not being able to do anything, I'm like, I need to sort this out because I'm 41 and I really want. I'm getting older. I need this success to like happen. I
Wait,
can't
wait,
just
wait, wait,
keep.
wait, 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 wait. You're who? You're how old? You're how old? You're what? What? You're
I'm
who?
41. I'm 41. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Lucy, you're beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You do not look 41. You look like early 30s, maybe mid 30s, not 40.
Thank you. It's all the Botox.
Well,
No,
you
it's because
keep
I
it up.
work at heart.
You keep it up. You look good. You look good. Okay, but anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Anyway, just back to the mental health thing. Like, I realized that a few things were compounding in a short amount of time, and it was causing major procrastination, which was leading to more sort of depression because I wasn't achieving what I want to achieve. And so I thought, fuck it, I've just got to get a psychologist and start dealing with what's going on, why. And then we worked out that it's probably from past trauma that hasn't been processed. And so if you've experienced trauma and you haven't actually dealt with it and processed it in a proper way, then it can cause problems later on in life. And that's what's happened to me. And that's why I'm dealing with it. So I can just, move on and keep kicking goals.
Okay. Wow, beauty and brains. Ooh, beauty, brains, and an accent.
But it all happening.
Oh man. All right. Okay. So, I apologize for not having your contact information
That's okay.
that I could post here, but I will definitely include it in the comments for the video, and I will also I will make sure that you don't have a like a referral link or anything for your sites yet, do you? You do?
Yeah, I've got a link.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be sure to, get that in there. We'll make sure that everyone we're going to make sure that you get flooded with United States United States links, because I definitely want to see you over here in the States.
Yes. Thank you. I would love to come. And there's lots of people that I want to work with. And when I came over, for the short amount of time that I came over when I filmed with Miles, I met some incredible people, and I've maintained those connections, and those networks have sort of grown and expanded over the last couple of years. So I'm just like aching to get over there.
Nice. All right. Oh, okay. I knew I had a couple more questions, but we're going on 52 minutes here. Ooh, it's been some time. Ooh, spending time with Luci. Okay. So yeah, life with Luci. Okay. So you're a nudist. You're a content creator. How long are you a swinger as well?
Yes.
Okay. Are you poly or a swinger?
Both.
Okay. When did you find out? Now this is for my LGBTQ plus community. When did you find out, or when did you get that first feeling that you were different? I'll just say that you were different, that you were sexually, your preferences were different. The fact that your relationship preferences were different. When did you feel that you were not what society dictated as the norm? When did you feel that? When did you first feel that?
About the age of 15, I started, attending my first parties, house parties at friends' places. I would drink alcohol, which is a bit young. I wouldn't recommend that. And I'd smoke weed occasionally, but I'd go and I'd get drunk and have lots of fun. And it seemed perfectly normal to me to be in a room full of other teenagers. We'd all be like, it'd be a couple per sleeping bag, and you'd be making out or touching and feeling in front of everyone else with the lights off. That was really exciting to me. So not just the act of what I was doing with the boy in the sleeping bag, but the fact that there were people around. And I remember one of the first times, this is before I'd even had sex, one of the first times I was intimate and playful with someone was I was sitting under a carport, so in the driveway, and we were leaning against the wall, and I had one boy to the right of me, one boy to the left of me, and we were all like groping each other. And I was kissing one, and the other was touching me, and I was just in heaven. I loved it. I was so excited. It was incredible. And yeah, there was a couple of situations like that where there were two guys, and then I would like invite my girlfriend down, like, come join us. And she's like, oh my God, what are you doing? You slut. And I'm like, no, this is fun. So that was the
Nice.
first I thought I liked sort of group stuff. And I would always just tease my girlfriend. I didn't really realize I was actually bisexual. And we used to go to nightclubs and we'd kiss each other because that's what would draw the attention of the boys. And we'd get free drinks out of it. And it was just an act, really. But I started really enjoying it. And I'd drag her into the toilets and we'd be making out in the toilets. And she would say, "Oh, but there's no boys around here." I'm like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Let's just get on anyway."
Uh-huh.
And that's when I started realizing that I was bisexual. But I didn't even have sex with my first woman until I was married later on, like maybe 10 years after that. Um, yeah, because I was married. So and we weren't in a polyamorous relationship or anything. We started swinging and invited like, a woman or another guy. And we did that. We sort of like played around with it a little bit. But yeah. And now I've been with a lot of women. It's amazing.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I started
So you said 18? Is that what you said?
15.
15. 15. Okay. Yeah.
When I was falling around and I knew I was different, I was about 15. But I first had sex when I was 16.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
My earphones keep popping out of my ears. I don't know. It
Those
it
big
it, it must be that it doesn't. I don't know. It just keeps
the
happening.
blood falling into your ears because you're
Yeah.
getting excited.
It just keeps happening. Just keeps happening. Um. Wow. I. You know what? Just for me. Tell me about your tattoos.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
I'm
not a
sure.
lot of all have meaning. Some of them have meaning. Most don't. I just like the look of them. Um, I have a lot, and I realized this that I actually used to be a self-harmer when I was about 18, 19. And then when I realized that I was okay with getting really obvious tattoos from about the age of 28, that turned into my form of self-harm. You know what I mean? So I got the sensation of the harming, but then it turned into something beautiful. It was like artwork. So I you would always notice if I was feeling a bit off by how many tattoos I was getting at any given time in my life
Oh.
initially. But now it's more just about image. I love the tattoos generally, and they don't always have any sort of meaning. But the very first tattoo I got, I was 17. I was underage, and I took the money that my mum gave me to go to the local fair, and I went to a tattoo shop and got a tattoo.
Wow.
I was
Okay.
very rebellious, but it's just like this little dragon here.
Okay. Okay. Look
I
at
still
you.
have it, and I probably won't. It's got stretch marks through it and everything because I got pregnant and whatever. But yeah, yeah, it's so hard to say the meanings behind all of them.
How many do
I
you
can
know
talk
how
about the
many
recent one.
do you know how many you have?
No, I don't count them because it's hard to say. Like you could say that this is one piece or multiple pieces because I got them done all at different times. But I would just say I'm just covered. That's all.
Wow. Okay. Which one hurt the most?
This is one of them, the Jessica Rabbit.
Okay.
Oh,
Really? Where
yeah.
did that one hurt? Along your
Why?
ribs? Where?
Yeah,
Where did it hurt? That was along your ribs there?
the
Oh, the
whole
whole
thing.
thing.
So sad. Yeah, I had to do it in two sittings. So there was like a 3 hour sitting, then a 2 hour sitting, because it just hurt too much. It was agonizing, and I don't do like numbing cream and shit like that.
Mm.
And then the next one, the knee ditch, so behind the knee.
Okay. Okay.
Ouch! Ouch! My goodness.
And wait, wasn't that one a recent one? I think I heard that on your podcast. Wasn't that a recent one?
Relatively recent, relatively recent. But my most recent is the shin, and when it got up to the knee on the front of the knee, that also hurt. Like the knee is like one of the most painful. Really, it's a weird sensation too, because you're almost hitting that nerve there in the front of the knee. But yeah,
Okay.
that hurt.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for indulging me. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm sure that, well, I know, you know, unless you're opposed to it, I would definitely love to have you back again. You know, your accent. Oh my goodness. I've said it. I must have said it at least 10 times here. And I've said it to you before in our, you know, in our one-on-ones. Your accent is amazing to me. It really is. It really is.
I think your accent is amazing.
Well, thank you. I don't think I have one, but you know what? It's regional. Everyone's accent is regional. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I'd like for you to do, my dear, this is your time to shine. Let's hear where can people find you? Aside from, well, no, I'll put them up again, but let everyone know where they can find you, where the best place to find you, your websites, Twitter, whatever. Let's hear it. What do you got?
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. I think if you just go to my website, I'm like, oh, okay, now yeah. Go to my website, lucipowerproductions.com, and that has all of the links to everything else, all of my adult content, my YouTube, my podcast, my Snapchat, everything is on there. If you want to just go straight to like the best adult content, subscribe to my OnlyFans. It's only $9.99 a month, and that's, you know, onlyfans.com/Luci Power, and it's Lucy with an I, not a Y. But yeah, you just go to my website, lucipowerproductions.com, then you'll see all the links there.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Lucy, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're definitely welcome back. And I know there's a 14-hour time difference. Just know that when you're awake, I'm usually awake. So there's you can but see we're on opposite days. So what is it?
That's right.
It's Friday at lunch. It's lunchtime. It's noon, like 12:30 there, right?
12:30, and I'm ready for lunch.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, you're a bodybuilder, so I know you're hungry. Look at those guns. Oh my goodness.
Today.
You go, girl. Oh, do you work out every day?
No, not anymore. I am no longer obsessed, and also because of my back injury, I have to take it easy.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Lucy, once again, I really, really appreciate it. And
you're welcome.
Hopefully we will be speaking soon.
Yeah, I'd love that.
All right. You guys take care. This has been the BJB Show with special guest Luci Power from Luci Power Productions. Peace.